Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK Podcast number 218. My name's Coach Mistletoe, and I'm here live with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Mr. Atlas. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Mistletoe, and folks, welcome back to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. Tuesday, June 6th. Podcast number 218. We're starting the recording about an hour late. We made sure to do a Q&A before starting, as tomorrow is a very important day here. It's a historic event, as we've answered so many questions to everyone that's asked, everyone that's interested, of the optimization that's happening to the foundation, the new product, the Legacy Savings Account, aka the LSA. Another fantastic product, your way to start stacking up for your legacy NFTs. If you're here for the long term, if you're here wanting to receive the revenue that this team and these products, this community is going to be printing directly every single day into your wallet, it's the place to be. It's the partnership with the team, with the protocol, for the future, for the migration. We've shown the roadmap. The experts have been impressed. Venture capitalists are asking questions. The sharks and the whales are swimming here around the ARK. They want a piece. Very exciting days. Utilities are just about to come out. More work today on the on-ramp. More meetings today, plugging in to the Air card that we're so excited about, folks. And one of the cool updates that you're going to have, a new feature that was just really put in our lap last week, is being able to take that anonymous card and for $3, just $3, having it shipped right to your doorstep and go spend your crypto. We're going to have so much information, details to share with all of you. We can't wait to see the smile on your faces as you load up your first card, as you go ahead and spend it, buy online. We're looking at the options, seeing what we can do to have it, if you're not in America or Canada, how to load it onto your device. But everything's a step at a time. And then the folks who are going to order it to their home, it's going to be great. Combining that with the on-ramp, plugging it into the mobile application, that's where, my friends, we start really going on this tour, spreading the word, explaining why the ARK is different, how we're here to build, how we come from a business background, and we're developing businesses to support the ILC, to support the legacy NFT holders, because we're here for a multi-year strategy, long-term investment, folks. And we're so bullish. We're so happy. And there's so much going on. It's been a long time coming, but it's here. Identifying how to improve and optimize so we never again, let's be clear, never have a bank run. And we've done it in a fashion that stays true to the integrity, the fairness, not changing the rules, not putting high taxes, not tying people into very low sell limits to just keep the project, going for more months, or lowering the payouts that are happening. I mean, we've had all kinds of crazy suggestions, but the fact is we've seen teams do this over and over again. It's good for the developers, very bad for the investors. And I think we've proven to you that we have a different mentality. We're not here to hold anyone down. We always want people to make their decisions, and we want to do it in a way that's fair, that's profitable. Stay in integrity, stay true to the intentions that were set here such a long time ago. And I think we've done a great job of it. And for the folks that are here, that are listening, who are paying attention, they're able to really seize the opportunity. They're able to get involved. They're able to get this bonus of bringing their bond over to the LSA. And it's only till tomorrow. So it's very important, if you're going to do it, if you're going to go that route, don't wait 24 hours. Do it in the next 12, 16 hours to be on the safe side, folks. With that, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the stats for today. We know that price has been going down. We understand that folks want to see the goods. Show us, Atlas, Brett, Mistletoe, Coach Brad, show us these products. We want to interact with them. We want to use them. We want to take them to our friends. And folks, we are doing everything we can. We're going as fast as we can, but it has to be done correctly. It has to be quality. You do not want to put on the clown nose in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. You have to make sure to execute and to get the win. And that just comes with being prepared and making sure that everything's done correctly the first time. Total vault accounts, 5,418. Liquidity on PancakeSwap down 206,743 BUSD. IOC reserves a bit down, but holding very steady, 318,814 BUSD. ARK price at 115. It's getting cheaper. We're seeing and understanding that a $25,000 max wallet is now at a huge, huge discount. And we're hearing rumors, we're hearing whales that are gearing up, understanding that there's going to be a shift in the consciousness. There's going to be a wake-up call for everyone, not only on the ARK, but the folks on the sidelines, the folks that, are wanting to see how we're able to, go through the hurricane, the eye of the storm, and come out on the other side and continue to do what we've been doing, because boy, did we have an amazing run. And this is round two. This is us moving past ensuring no bank runs and doing what we do best, which is building, which is communicating with this community, going out, doing those AMAs, winning hearts and mind with facts, taking responsibility on our behalf, and taking action to ensure the safety going forward. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Brett Nordine. He's got some fantastic updates and information, especially for all the folks that are understanding that these contracts are going to be deployed tomorrow. Very exciting times, happy days. But there's, of course, a couple of details and questions that we all need to understand. Welcome on board, Brett.
Thank you, Atlas. Yeah, so tomorrow is the big contract redeployment for the LSA contract, the legacy NFT, as well as the foundation. So one of the updates we do have today, we had a good meeting with Mr. Green, making great progress on the contract, so we're all set for tomorrow. And we do need to adjust one thing in that going forward tomorrow, you will not be able to directly deposit bonds into the LSA. So to your point about the next 24 hours, if they are intending to, or if you are intending to use your foundation bond, you will want to move it over today within the next 12 hours. If you wait until after tomorrow when the contracts are redeployed, then the bond will have to be basically cashed out. And when it's cashed out, the BUSD component will go into your wallet, but the ARK will go into your ARK vault with the updated foundation contract. So if you're planning on moving your balance from the foundation over to the LSA, please get it done today, as those new changes will take effect on the foundation, and you will be able to just move it over to the LSA. And there's no way for us to avoid that. Based on our meeting today with Mr. Green, contractually, we're going to have to adhere to the rules of the foundation, and this ARK will have to go into your ARK vault. Once again, also, if you have a max deposit of 4,000 in your ARK vault balance already, then those ARK vault will be virtually burned back into the tax vault. So keep that in mind as well, that you may want to get those on out into your LSA today if you want to avoid moving those ARK eventually into the tax vault instead of into your wallet, or just capturing them out altogether. So it's kind of the last chance to take advantage of the LSA if you're planning on using your bond. BUSD and ARK will work as advertised. So, anytime you want to move your BUSD or ARK over there, you can do that. There's no tax on the ARK deposit. It is at the price, the current market price. So currently it'd be at $1.15 for every ARK that you move into the LSA. And then that will go towards your BUSD balance in the LSA. And you work your way up to a silver once that $1,000 limit is hit, or if you already have $1,000 in your LSA now, tomorrow, once we redeploy the LSA contract and the NFT contract, you will get a minted silver NFT into your wallet. So watch out for that. And then you'll need to go to the Legacy NFT page and unlock that silver NFT. So it will be locked until you unlock it, and then you can start getting the benefits of the referral reward, the spark and all that stuff. So keep that in mind as well. If you've already stacked 1,000 in value into the LSA contract, you will need to unlock that silver to apply to your vault account and get those benefits that come along with that. Other than that, I think that's probably a lot to handle in the next 24 hours. I'm going to be updating you tomorrow on the podcast. We will also go live once the redeployment is finished tomorrow. I know we typically do that, or we even have sometimes Mr. Green and Alex on with Atlas and I on the podcast, or at least on the VC. So we usually have an open VC during that time to handle any questions directly. If anybody comes over has technical issues, problems, we can address those immediately. So hopefully everything will go smooth tomorrow, and by this time tomorrow we will have those new contracts in place, and we'll have a bunch of new legacy NFTs mentioned. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. Very much looking forward to it. Absolutely. Great explanation. Does anyone have a question regarding the update from Brett? All right, fantastic. Let's see here. Do we have Coach Brad in the building? There he is. We got a lot of folks here today. Mother Goose in the house. Justin McDonald, Raphael Soto, Sneaky Shash, David Ashcroft, Ed Rosenquist, Crypto Fascinated, Jashawn Vanquish, Bob CT03, Charno F, Archie, Instant Milk, Coach Roberto, Chris Ark, Marcel, by Z Deeps, Crypto Beam, Lillian Rose, Chris Dugan, Griffin, DeFi Diva in the house, Electrician Man. We give you a shout out. Great conversation today, brother. Nice to meet you. Our very own resident pharmacist. No, farmer, not pharmacist. Wanda Herbalist, Crypto Fergie, the Ferg, LCM Crypto, Jimbo T, Taylor, Rydraco Ryan, Crypto Mojo, Noah, Vlad Haimars, Crypto Brian Wave, Wise Man, and of course, Daily Income Guru, Udaman, G.I. Joe, DSW, Hamza. Man, everybody's here today. Marco Hod, Terry Tibbs, the Meme Master, Mr. Big, Florida Realtor, Nito, Brandon the Rate Maker, Johnny Fawcett, and Mark 2. Himmy and Co. We also heard from her earlier, folks. Coach Brad, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I know we're pressed for time, so I don't know if we're going to be able to really do the all aboard for today. We're running really behind with all the questions, a lot of updates, getting ready for tomorrow. Just wanted to check in with you. And let's go ahead and do the Wheel of the Toad. Giveaway. It's going to be 100 today, Mistletoe. Sheesh.
$100. Oh, let's go. 1 second then. Let me change the wheel.
We've got a crowd tonight. A lot of calm, cool, and collected folks in the house.
My mic, for some reason, keeps muting on me. You guys should be able to see the screen now. If you are new to the podcast, don't know what is going on, every single day during the podcast, after the all aboard session, we are running late for time, so don't have an all aboard for today. But this is the wheel that supports all of our content creators. To get involved, all you need to do, every single day after the podcast, we post a new sweep widget link in the main chat. It's pinned in the main chat, posted in the announcements channel, in the contest and giveaway topic channel as well. And if you can't find it, just make sure to ask and we'll definitely repost it for you. Every single day, right after the pod, we do share that. To get involved, all you have to do is click onto that sweep widget link, go through all the tasks. It's going to range from liking and commenting some YouTube videos, clapping up some Medium articles, and retweeting some Twitter links. And once you go through all of that, your name is going to pop up on this amazing wheel right here. And every single day, we're going to spin it. If we land on your lucky name, you'll win $50 to $100 worth of BUSD. It only takes a couple of minutes to enter. Really helps push the algorithm for the ARK and for all the content creators here on the ARK. And to get over $50 for the prize, all we have to do is get over 50 people into the podcast. And once we have over 50 people, that's when we boost up to the $100 BUSD. And since we do have over 50 people tonight, we will be giving away $100 worth of BUSD. So do be sure to tell your friends. If you have friends in ARK and they don't really come on the podcast, make sure they enter the sweep widget, and you can tell them if they win. It's really easy to get involved, and it really helps the community. So yeah, let's get this crypto and let's give away some money. Are we ready to spin that wheel, Alice? Do you have the sound effect? Or are we going without it?
Yes, sir. On the count of 3, 2, 1, let's spin the wheel.
Congratulations to whitepaper_PH. Do be sure to do your homework. Read those white papers. You won $100 with USD. Congratulations.
He's got a doctorate in white papers. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Let's
Sheesh.
go.
All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and release the Sparky. Let's go ahead and bring the screen up over here. The $1 billion studio in effect. Let me know if you can see it, Mistletoe.
We can see it. Yep.
All right. Let's bring up the Sparky. You want to tell them how it's done? How the how we get that spark? How do you get
come here on the podcast every day and be part of the community? That's how you really win. The legend has it, if you do call for Sparky, if you do the whistle, I can't really whistle that good, but if you do whistle, there you go. You might get lucky.
Come here, boy. Sparky. All right, let's go do it, boys. And girls.
And aliens.
The Naku.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
And there it is, folks. We have today's lucky winner. And boy, they're lucky. This is their second time winning the Spark Prize. Their wallet ends in 3EC1. They've taken into their vault instantly. It's already there, folks. 689.82 ARK. That's a street value of $791.44. Sheesh. Nitro mode. Boosting NDV through the roof, 2%, sailing so fast. And of course, our MVP for the day, their wallet ends in 6628. We're trying to recognize that wallet. They keep coming in, DCA, and we know they're stacking up. They won 76.65 ARK, street value of 87.94 USD. Congratulations, MVP, 10% going to you. And without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and turn it over to our very own crypto DeFi expert, the legend, Mr. Z. I had fantastic DeFi sessions yesterday, looking at everything that's happening. The shots have been fired towards Binance Smart Chain directly at the head of its CEO, CZ. But there's a war chest of money. This is going to be a long, drawn-out battle. I don't think it's going to be over so easy, so fast. We've seen XRP, I think, spent almost $500 million in court, and I think they've got the SEC up against the ropes, folks. Go ahead, Mr. Z.
Hello.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome. Yeah, yesterday's DeFi session went for quite long. I think we were in for like 45 minutes, but it was an important one. Like, I think Binance and its future is very sort of liable to where crypto goes and where XRP. And there's some more updates today, so I'm gonna share my screen and we'll get into it. Just give me a second, guys. All right, Mistletoe, could you confirm that you can see my screen?
We can see it, sir.
Amazing. Yeah, so I'm gonna always start off with the technicals because I think it's important for us to know where the price is going for Bitcoin as we see. So I've kind of rewinded it back to the 4th of June, just before we were looking to tap into the 26K region, and today is the 6th of June. So if you guys see this thing sort of print out, what we see is we tapped into lower levels really quickly, and that's when the news for Binance came in. I believe 6 p.m. UTC when it came out, and since then we saw a big sell-off that happened on Bitcoin from 27K down to 25.6, and then we continued the day today, took out previous lows, entered this box that we drew out, and we resurfaced back to 27.25K, and that's where price is currently. So we've had a rebound, we've taken out previous lows, and now I'm getting questions in the DM saying, are we looking to go back up? I don't think so. I think we still have to take a lower low out. So there's still this low here to take out. So we'll see if we stay in a sideways movement for now. And it all depends on fundamentals. It depends on what people see as the warrant price. So currently we're going through a bit of a storm in crypto, as you can see. And I mean, we talked about Binance quite a bit yesterday. Well, it didn't stop the SEC from firing shots. They sort of picked on Coinbase today. So let me see if I can get this article up here. So yeah, today's headline is the SEC sues Coinbase for breaking U.S. securities rules. The SEC's lawsuit alleges that Coinbase operates as an unregistered securities exchange, brokerage, and clearing agency. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission has filed a lawsuit against New York-based crypto exchange Coinbase for offering unregistered securities. And sometimes I look at this and think, did they just copy and paste what they told Binance? Because it's the same sort of allegations of running an unregistered brokerage and a clearing agency, and mentioning the same tokens in line. So they're alleging several tokens offered by the crypto exchange, including Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Filecoin, Sandbox, Axie Infinity, ICP, Near Protocol. Near Protocol is the addition now to this. Dash and Nexo. So this was the tweet that the SEC sent out on Twitter today. So it reads out as the following. So today we charged Coinbase Incorporated with operating its crypto assets trading platform as an unregistered national securities exchange, brokerage, and clearing agency, and for failing to register the offer and sale of its crypto assets staking as a service program. So the lawsuit further alleges that Coinbase has operated as an unregistered securities broker since 2019, almost 2 years before its initial IPO in 2021. The SEC claims that Coinbase staking program includes 5 stakeable crypto assets, making the staking program an investment contract and therefore a security. Coinbase was already fighting a staking battle with the SEC, claiming that its staking product do not qualify as securities, despite Kraken previously settling with the SEC and winding down its staking services in the United States. Addressing the latest Coinbase lawsuit, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said that the crypto exchange allegedly. Now this is the interesting part. I know I'm reading it word to word, but I will break it down. So, addressing the latest Coinbase lawsuit, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said that the crypto exchange allegedly deprived its customers of critical protection that prevents fraud and manipulation, and avoided proper disclosure and safeguards against conflicts of interest. So that's the sort of allegation. And yeah, Coinbase is, and this is the side, like, I don't understand with the SEC. It does hit the investors in so many ways, right? Just by disclosing that. Coinbase's stock price has gone 15%, and crypto is down, I think, 4% today. So the SEC lawsuit against Coinbase comes just a day after the securities regulator sued Binance for violating securities law and commingling customers' funds. Similar allegations, right? Whilst Binance was charged with 13 counts of violation under various securities laws, the allegation against Coinbase has puzzled many in the crypto industry, primarily because Coinbase is a publicly listed company. So Binance CEO, yeah, this is pretty interesting. So Binance CEO had this to say, and he took a dig at the SEC today. So this is what he said in a tweet. Because if you have to pick a fight with everyone, maybe you are the one at fault. Paul Grewal, who's like the legal officer at Coinbase, came out with a statement as well today, and this was his quote here. So he said, "The solution is legislation that allows fair rules for the road to be developed transparently and applied equally, not litigation. In the meantime, we'll continue to operate our business as usual." So many in the crypto community question how Coinbase was allowed to go public in 2021 if it operated as an unregistered security broker. One member of crypto Twitter, The Wolf, said the SEC suing Coinbase could cut some slack for Binance. So yeah, this is day 2 of basically shots being fired by the SEC. And what I wanted was, whilst they sort of mentioned these tokens as securities, right? Quotation mark. I wanted to see statements made out by Hoskinson, by Sandeep of Polygon, and the Sandbox people. I wanted statements, and we did get one statement out from Hoskinson. Do I have a few minutes to go through it, or am I over my time?
This is extremely, extremely important for all investors.
Absolutely. So basically this article here, if you guys want to check it out, I post all these in DeFi links. And basically there's two things happening right now with the SEC, right? They're taking a choke point sort of view. And Hoskinson, I found in this article and this tweet here to say quite a bit. So I'm just gonna open this into another window so we can kind of read this together here. So this is what Hoskinson had to say. Let me zoom into this for people that can't see. Just give me a second. So Hoskinson, right? This is what he tweeted. He goes, with respect to Binance, I'm reading through the SEC complaint. It's over 130 pages, but seems like the next in a series of steps to implement Choke Point 2.0 in the United States. The end goal is a agenda-based CBDC partnered with a handful of massive banks and end-to-end control over every aspect of your financial life. A regulatory event is where you have to debate about compliance with a law or guidance. This event seems to be politically philosophical disagreement with the very existence of cryptocurrencies and what they represent. An unelected group of people have decided that concepts like self-sovereign identity, owning your wallet, and the freedom to control your economy agencies should be removed from the masses and given to the enlightened few. Honestly, what is happening isn't anything new. It's always the same fight between freedom and authoritarianism, just with different players, technology, and words. It does seem like this event is a perfect opportunity for the entire industry to set aside its fragmented nature and unite for a common sense set of rules and guidelines that can prevent the United States from slipping into a dystopia that would make 1984 look like a vacation. So he continues here. He goes, I'll have more to say later, but we'll close with, we are going to be fine. Everything's all right, and the future is bright for the industry. So that's what Hoskinson, some great words from Hoskinson, I must say. And yeah, we have another person by the name of Compound248, another Twitter handle to follow. And I've only, like, out of the 130 pages, I think I've been through like the light paper version, and I've been through the bullet points. So I'm only like 10 pages in. But Compound24B has done a really great job of breaking down the 130 pages. So I'm just going to read his pinpoints, if you guys don't mind. So it goes, Binance is huge and generates a ton of revenue. For the 3 years ending July 2021, Binance earned an at least $11.6 billion in revenue, most of which derived from transaction fees. Transaction fees, guys. Ken Griffin must be blushing. That's quite scalping. So number 12, Tai Chi. Binance had a plan called the Tai Chi Plan, meant to reveal, retard, and resolve built-up enforcement tensions in the U.S. As it became clear its U.S. base was violating law, CZ wanted to help route VIP U.S. investors offshore to create plausible deniability. So some more comments here. So I've never seen the SEC attempt to try a case in court of public opinion. Usually they wait until after a case is settled to brag. A former SEC official who wished to remain anonymous. These are the many sort of allegations that have been pointed out to Binance, and I hope we understand what Tai Chi and the other word Operation Choke Point is, because these are legal terms, and basically we can sort of break this down even further. But I think we've said quite enough. I think I'd like a few people's opinions on this now. Alice, what's your opinion thus far? Oh, go on. Chris, how's it going?
Yeah, good. I keep seeing in the background where the same thing as the SEC, but they're over the commodities. I can't remember the acronym for them. It's like the CTMT or something like that.
CFTC, Commodities Futures Trading Commission. I think CFTC you're talking about.
Yeah. So, there's kind of a big push to get crypto underneath their jurisdiction as an asset. And I'm wondering if the SEC is trying to like rule through enforcement as opposed to actually setting up rules for crypto to try to take them out of the picture of being able to be the overseeing governing body for it.
Yeah, I like thus far, I think we speculated, right, a few different things. We've seen JP Morgan with Onyx and it being a bank-to-bank sort of solution for all the centralized banks. And then we have the push for, as Hoskinson just said, CBDC. And it's just in timing for the elections to also take place and also the Bitcoin halving coming up next year. So I think all of these things correlate in a way. And it's just unfortunate because the like Europe and Asia, if we count Singapore, Hong Kong, and if we count the UAE and MiCA, which is sort of the European legislation, they all sort of are in favor of basically the space developing in itself and not taking sort of litigation or sanctions as a way of resolving the matters. And they're letting it play out, right? They've said it quite a few times. But here the SEC and Gary Gensler have been making like massive quotes. They have, and this is like plugged into what the CFTC. So you mentioned the Trading Commission there. They sort of were the first to try Binance under the securities enforcement. So I think there is an agenda here, and we have to see how this plays out. It's all to play out. I mean, we have the Ripple thing coming up next month. So I want to see if cryptos, as they mention here, these 13 assets or these 10 assets that we have, I want to see if these things are going to be classified as a security or are they going to be a commodity like Bitcoin? The world right now is classifying them as commodities. It's classified as a commodity in Singapore, for example. In other places, it has its own entitlement as crypto assets. But we're gonna find out in the next month or so. I don't think we have to wait long to see if Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Sandbox, and these sort of alleged tokens are going to be classified as a security. And I think that has a big say in where this goes. And I'm shocked at the timing of the SEC to do it. Like let the XRP case settle in first, and then sort of trial others. But what they're doing is a month prior to concluding enactment of that, we're already picking up fights against Binance, against Coinbase, and that's my opinion thus far. It's something that's
yeah. That's part of what makes me think that Gensler's trying to stay relevant, to it, because I think that they know they're going to lose the fight with Ripple, so now they've got to have these other fronts to get out in front of.
Absolutely. I think he's staying very relevant right now. I think he's number. Yeah, I'm sure he's trending somewhere on a Google search or Twitter on crypto Twitter right now, with his second inline statement. And it's like with Gensler, like I remember there was a time with Atlas, like I used to appreciate Gensler for like his MIT sort of lectures. I think I learned quite a bit. The guy knows cryptocurrencies in and out. But yeah, go on, Atlas.
AZ, do you know that right here, right now, we have somebody that used to trade with Gary Gensler?
No way. Really?
Yeah. Yes, we actually do. I don't know if he wants to step up and tell us a little bit about that experience he's been around. The man's been around. Go ahead.
Yeah, back in the 70s and 80s, I worked for Goldman Sachs. I was a precious metals trader. I traded silver and gold arbitrage for Goldman Sachs. Gary Gensler had actually one of our counterparts, and so yeah, I know him. And he's I'm not going to say what I thought of him, but anyway, I know him pretty intimately actually.
Interesting. So why is he going after everything and even calling wine bottles securities if they're traded or art pieces?
Wine bottles. That was a good one.
No, seriously, this is there were wine bottles.
Back then, you would have never imagined that man would. I mean, who would ever think that anybody anybody you're in your circle or you're working with or trading with or trading against, that they would end up at the top of the top of the top. Like nobody would have ever imagined that. Or was he already, you think, like having that sort of vision and mentality to work his way up the ladder of brown nosers?
He owned his own commodities company. It was Gary Gensler and Associates. And so he was pretty big on Wall Street at the time, in the commodities markets anyway.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
I'm still wondering how he's been able to skirt his involvement with FTX.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. But he wasn't their first choice. From my understanding, the first choice for SEC was Bernie Madoff. Did you guys know about that? Oh yeah. He was it. I mean, he was a boy. You had to wait like 6 months to be able to get a meeting with Bernie Madoff, and you'd have to have at least $3-5 million.
oh my.
Like this guy was bringing numbers, right, for the investors. Obviously, later we found out why, but at that point, he was the golden kid. He was the genie in the bottle, printing money for all the Japs over there in Manhattan. So he was it until the whole thing unraveled. Did you know that, Bob? That it was Bernie?
Yeah, I'm vaguely aware of that. Yes.
It's a little circle, and most of them come from Goldman Sachs.
Don't hold that against that I
universe.
work for them.
For all we know, Bob is next. Don't replace him. Please help us.
Bob?
I
think Bob's.
Yeah, my phone is just about dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Let's get into this. I have a couple questions. These are the same assets that were on the lawsuit for Binance?
Yeah, exactly the same.
What's Nexo?
But they've added a few. At least they've added internet companies, ICP. They've added Near Protocol. That was a new one.
Chills.
And they added Dash was already part of it, but Nexo is another one. It's a digital wallet partner. So they've added three more have been added.
Well, Voyager is not in there.
Voyagers is on it. Jeez. Whoa, I didn't see that. Mm-hmm. A few more,
but no Cardano. Oh wait, it is. I'm right. In the one for Binance, it wasn't Cardano in there.
They're both Cardano, I believe.
It was like if we look in the Binance one from yesterday. Let me see.
Really?
Yeah. It was also. Yeah, here's the assets here. Give me a second. Let me go get it for you. But yeah,
is this also an emergency order as well, like Binance was yesterday?
I think this one it's very similar. I don't know if they went for the emergency slot, but it is the same. It is an SEC complaint, and it's honestly like really identical. It's like a copy and paste. Yeah, it's a copy paste. But let me just get I want to show you guys the list of assets that Binance have been sorted.
It doesn't have BUSD because that was for Binance.
Yeah,
and because Coinbase doesn't do that, but they added additional ones for the Coinbase lawsuit, including Nexo. I used Nexo before, and I spotted that.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Nexo. Yeah, so these are the Binance ones, right? So BNB, BUSD, Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Falcon, Cosmos, Sandbox, Decentraland, Algorand, Axie Infinity. So very similar. Let's just say just a differential of like 3-4 tokens per se, but same assets, same order: Solana, Cardano, Polygon.
So was there also commingling and stuff like that they were saying, or just the alleged violations were fewer, right? Or how does that compare?
Yeah, no, it's similar. It's similar. So they're saying they've alleged in our complaint Coinbase was fully aware of the of the federal securities laws. So they're saying they traded it with unregistered sort of norms. So the United States has filed a lawsuit against New York Thing for offering unregistered securities. That's what they are currently saying, and
even though they let them IPO.
That's what people are that's the debate on crypto Twitter right now. Is how is Coinbase?
Biggest hypocrisy.
Yeah, it is. It's like, how is a company able to trade publicly then, right?
You mentioned that in other countries, so clearly this is not just a personal vendetta to CZ for tanking FTX, which Gensler was associated with, and he's skirting somehow, which is also miraculous and astonishing and very corrupt inside, most likely. But also, it's the same basically copy and paste to Coinbase. And so this now suggests that there's a bigger plan and a reason, because the timing is extraordinary, like just ... fire after fire after fire. Tomorrow will maybe be the rest of these tokens, essentially one by one, just pick them off the field and fire away. It looks like, because they have to defend themselves, right? They've been named now in 2 times, 8, Cardano and others, etc. So does it support the idea that this is because of the CBDC being introduced? Like, does it not support that notion at this point?
I mean, you mentioned this yesterday, and now Hoskinson kind of agrees with you. Hoskinson, should I read this out again, or are we okay?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that blurb, right. So that's the reason. So there you go. This dystopia now, it's apparent. So, and also the fact that they're, like was mentioned too, that they're losing the Ripple, so they're trying to fire a bunch. And as Captain was mentioning yesterday, they're trying to throw a bunch of allegations and seeing, like, they're smothering them with everything that they can, throw them with everything they got, and then they know it's going to be it's quicksand. They're sinking, and they have to keep trying to pull themselves out. And whatever they can pull out, a leg or a hand or something, is the best that they could do before they sink. And meanwhile, they're trying to go in other jurisdictions, but they're trying to get them before there's some clarity of SEC with, having Ripple slip away. And so that's what they're looking to do, meanwhile, while CBDC comes out. So for example, I think that my point yesterday, excuse me for being right, possibly, is that they don't have good intentions, because you mentioned you're so surprised why they're doing this. They're doing this to demolish the system in America, and anyways, this is not going well. This is going to a bad place. And you also touched on sanctions. They probably will end up doing sanctions because they know they have to deal with it, especially a public company. What are they going to do? What could Coinbase do? Binance could try to fight this and let it, because they have international business. Coinbase is U.S. Could there be criminal stuff too? What could happen from this for Coinbase?
Yeah, so my views on Coinbase is they've actually registered in Bermuda, and they're also looking for clearing licenses in the UAE. So I think they've diversified their sort of asset classes, and they're using servers in Europe. So I think they're ready for the fight. I really do. And yeah, I think this is going to be a long drag. I think this is going to play into the elections. You're going to see candidates talk about it. You're going to see Gensler make his statements more than a few times. I'm sure he's going to do a few Vanity Fair interviews, and he's going to do a Forbes interview. Yeah, Forbes right now is sort of the speaking truth of the SEC right now. So apparently Forbes, so a few of their columnists were trying to target some people in the industry. So I'll cover that maybe tomorrow. But it seems to be the statement, and Like, it's just unfortunate that they mentioned, they use words like they did not protect investors' funds, and they had people's money at risk. But the SEC had no risk to just make out these claims and see Bitcoin tank 7% in price and see other crypto assets tank another 40 to 70%. These are things that matter to like the investor, and the SEC aren't doing anyone any favors. Let the Ripple thing conclude, then come after and put
The bird just flew
legality in
right
place.
through
Sorry, Chris, you're saying?
Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was still on.
No worries. But yeah, this is where we are right now. We are at a place where. Go on.
Pardon me, Z, but the BUSD was mentioned yesterday. What about Tether? Is Tether embroiled in anything? Because that's growing like crazy.
See, that's the thing. I think Atlas mentioned it yesterday. No stables were mentioned. No USDC, no USDT. These things, no Ethereum, right? No Bitcoin.
On the back burner, letting them kind of stack up as they create this fear, probably with the other digital assets, and then people will dump, go to stables, and I would think that the next part is for them to bring out the CDBC and say, this one's legal, the other one's not. You have X amount of time to hop on over, and we'll redeem you, but you got a KYC and time to pay the piper. But it's clear that the debt ceiling, the amount of inflation that's happening, the printing that's going on, they're on their last leg. The dollar is on its last leg, folks. There is no secret about that. And they're having to be drastic, pull all the stops. This is a threat to their system. And it's been bankrupt. Everybody knows it. You see the bricks running as fast as they can as this building that the foundation is crumbling, is falling down. So people want to get away from all this exposure, and they're bringing out these T-bonds. They're sucking out, dude. They're going to suck out right now a ton of liquidity out of Wall Street, all the markets, offering these T-bills. They're desperate. They're very, very desperate, and it's dangerous and scary.
Z, you mentioned that in other countries like Singapore, they're already clear the classification as commodities, but then in other countries, they're crypto assets, like a separate class created. Could you speak to how those are taxed as well? Like, and does it cover all tokens, like in general?
Yeah, the United Arab Emirates have been really public about opening up sort of a limited company there and having an incorporation and not paying in tax. Like you don't pay tax in the UAE. And Singapore, I can't speak for much. I'm sure someone here has sort of resided in Singapore, but it seems like even they don't have to pay the sort of capital gains tax that we see in the US and in Europe. Because you have sort of Polkadot there, you have Polygon has a bunch of stuff. Solana has a bunch of investments in Singapore. But yeah, I don't think they get taxed. Not currently. Not as an entity.
Well, yeah, I know that Singapore, they don't have capital gains, but I was just wondering because that was a new, different kind of class that you mentioned, but that's fine. So would you agree that moving forward with all this chaos now stirred up, that the SEC would now next attack the individual these tokens named now, because they're not waiting for any result, any clarity, the Ripple lawsuit. They're not waiting for anything. They're just going out to call out everybody. So do you think that would be next?
I think you start off with litigating the fact that Binance traded these cryptocurrencies on their exchange. So you first go after the exchanges, and if you win against the exchanges, then you go after the tokens. So right now, I think there's a long way to go.
So like Nexo has their token. They added trading. They removed the lending when that fiasco happened. So in an example with Nexo, they would go after them as an exchange because they would be trading those tokens on that exchange, and then they'd go after their so they're not going after their coin, they're going after the company. Well, they're saying the token is a security, or they're alleging that without any precedence actually, and then you're saying they go after them because they were trading those tokens on those exchanges, and then directly the company, which actually have tokens that also are securities, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a layer upon layer sort of scheme that the SEC are trying to run here. And as I said, I can't wait till the Ripple thing concludes next, because apparently they've opened up the sort of draft on. So prior to Gensler, there was another SEC chair that said some stuff about Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other sort of tokens not being classified as securities. So they had that sort of like window opened. So I think that concludes the Ripple thing next month. So I want to see how that plays out, because that's gonna give relevance to all of these. Like if basically a crypto asset is sort of encouraged to be a commodity, then these cases against Binance and Coinbase are taken down by a few pays. I mean, but here's going. Sorry.
No, please.
Yeah, the other thing is like because it's 13 classifications that the SEC have gone against Binance. So maybe the securities things they win. So that takes about 7 of these allegations away. But then the sort of commentary around unregistered security, that's something I want to see how they play out with Binance. I mean, Coinbase is an interesting one because Coinbase is a public limited company. And that's what crypto Twitter is debating right now, saying if the SEC knew that they're a publicly traded company, why weren't there any prerequisites prior to them becoming a public limited company and trading? So there's a bunch of nuance and you can say biased opinions that need to be answered, and I just want to see how this concludes, and this is going to be a really interesting summer. Like, I honestly believe. I think we have 15 new sort of candidates for presidency. We have a fight for Senate. So there's a bunch of internal stuff happening in America in the next few months leading to November. And then we're going to see the side of, you can say, the Fed coin has been delayed. You're not going to see that next July. So I want to see how this thing plays out, because already you've got a few states that have already banned CBDC use. So, for example, maybe future president of America, DeSantis, right? Like he runs Florida, and he's banned CBDCs. So I want to see how this all plays out. There's so many things to still move in places on the chessboard that I think for me to take any sort of statement and conclude is not right. So we're gonna keep updated on these things. I think it's gonna be a weekly ongoing thing. I think a lot of people are gonna have an opinion. We've heard so as I said, like when those assets were crypto assets were mentioned, I wanted Gavin Woods from Polygon from Polkadot to say something, or Sandy from Polygon, or but I wanted Hoskinson to be the one of the vocal ones, and fortunately he's tweeted about it, and he's been very honest about it. Like this tweet here explains a lot of things, like little fears that people have, that they're going after crypto, they're trying to bring in CBDCs, and he wouldn't mention like Hoskinson is a person that is very, very peer to peer. Like he's someone that doesn't say anything unless he has depth of knowledge. And this is why it's taken Cardano such a long time to really catch up to Ethereum and all the other sort of you can say sort of explorers and stuff. So yeah, sorry.
No, this is all good stuff. Definitely political, and the price for CBDC, but it's like nothing is untouched in America related to this. But my question is, those named tokens that they have, what limited them to those as opposed to additional ones that are also very similar and maybe similar market cap and maybe a little bit lower? in terms of alleging that those are securities? Why not slap a longer list? Like, why only those? Do you know? Have an idea?
At this current moment, I think I have to read the 130 pages to say if more tokens were. I think they were given as an example. I don't think they were the final
example,
list.
but not limited to, right? Something like that.
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that. Yeah, I think.
okay. So then everything is at risk. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Because this was a summary from the actual filing, right? That you were reading from. Okay.
Yeah. I will hopefully read through because I have some friends that are like legal here and they go through to these cases every week. So I've got a few friends in the legal department that'll break it down for me, because I don't think I'm up for reading 130 pages without proofreading it. It'd be a long read for me. But
Ask Bart.
Sorry, Coach. You were saying?
Tell Bart to summarize it for you.
Bart, I love it. I think that's a good idea. Me and Catalyst will team up and we'll let Bard take care of the 300 pages. Maybe that's something we can do tomorrow. Thank you, Coach.
All right, folks. Stay within the hour. We started an hour late the recording, as we had deep conversations. We're going to go ahead and conclude today's podcast. We're going to stick around after some Q&A, make sure that everybody understands this is your time, folks, to take advantage of the bonus discount to come on over to the LSAB on the side of the NFTs, which are printing every single day, making folks smile and laugh and be happy. Thank you for everyone coming out. We appreciate your involvement, your interest, staying up to date with the news, with the alpha, the narrative, what is happening on the ARK. We appreciate every single one of you, and also the folks that are listening to the podcast at a later time. We hope you found it educational as well as entertaining. We're going to be back tomorrow, folks. Same time, 4 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. UTC. Please stay tuned for the announcements. Very important, because we want to let you know when the contracts are optimized and redeployed for all of us to be able to interact. There's going to be a couple of updates and optimizations too on the UI. Shout out to Alex for, really doing an amazing job. This man is so dedicated. You see him here answering questions at the same time he's coding and creating, the fantastic front ends, working so hard on the products. He's an absolute superstar, and this project wouldn't be possible without his full attention to detail and commitment, working Saturdays, Sundays, late nights. So thank you all. Take care of each other. Be good to yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow.